All right. Coolio, you guys have, okay. I got a little towel just in case we need that. Um, and so for today, we actually are going to be doing some stuff on the, with TheraBands, okay? So these are for you guys to have, all right? Yes. It's like therapy on steroids today. All right. And thank you all so much for showing up. I appreciate y'all. If you guys want, you guys can push back just a little bit and give yourself just a little bit more space so that if we come off the mat, that you guys have that space. And I also invite you guys to take off your socks if you'd like. If you feel like you got good, great toe movement in them, that's fine too. But we're definitely playing around with our feet today. All right. So we're gonna get this together. Boom, perfect. All right. We're gonna wait for Fred to come back. He'll grab your mat for his mat as well. And then if we're supposed to have a couple more coming in. I know that there's half the people that are out of the country are participating in some sort of extracurricular already for today. So couldn't make it, so we are doing live sesh. Hey, hon, how are you? Good. Find space. You can come over here to this side. It does get a little warm with that sun. But if you like to sweat, you can definitely go ahead and do that. But yeah, so Liana, I got you a band. Who's that? Oh, yay, Faye. Awesome. Cool. Boom. All right. Yeah, the parking, not being able to park right in front was, I was like, ah. Yeah, it messed up the flow of things. Awesome. You looking at your outfit to get already? Which one?
I like the neon one.
Yes, I actually got the neon top, the long sleeve. You have the long sleeve too?
No, I have the bright green
Bra? Okay, yeah, and I got those pants right there, the leopard with all of the prints all over it. They're so cute. Yeah. Do you shop with Fabletics a lot?
I haven't.
How did you hear about the class?
I was at the yoga on Wednesday.
Oh, were you? Oh, okay, awesome, cool, right on. Yes, well, nice. Thanks for meeting with us. Do you live close out here?
No, I live way down in South Campus.
Oh, well, welcome. Thank you all for the drive. One for, remind me your name again, Alyssa. One for Alyssa, and I'm gonna give you this towel. It's clean. You can just put it on top, and then you can come back to the back. There's a band over to the back corner, but you can be wherever you need to be. And then Faye will give you about 60 seconds more, and then we're gonna go ahead and get going, okay? So today is going to be about a 45-minute class that we're going to be doing. It's all about mobility, low impact. So everything today, be very intentional on what you guys are feeling. If there's something that you don't feel like your body is like being able to talk to you the right way, or it doesn't feel right, just, raise your hand or ask a question. Odds are you probably aren't the only one that's trying to get through with that. Fred, where's the scissors? I need my band. Oh, I got some. I got one. Faye's coming. So, cool. And for folks at the house, make sure that you have a TheraBand or a long band with handles is okay as well, so that you can participate with us in the band work. All right. So, all right, Faye will join in once she sees us. Before we start, I want everybody to go ahead and test out their own goblet squat to start out for the class, okay? So goblet squat, our feet will be slightly open, our knees are apart as well. And we're just gonna sit down into whatever feels most comfortable. Oh, nice, we got a lot of folks in here with great mobility. This looks good, awesome. All right, so we're gonna come on up, and I just wanted you guys to see and check that out, how that feels to you guys. We're gonna do that one more time. This time, be intentional on how it feels. If you're feeling anything tight, if you're feeling things that are pulling in or pulling out, let's go ahead and have our body talk back to us to see what we need to be talking to it about today. Is it mid-back? Is it hips? Does this feel comfortable? Are your toes being able to come down onto the ground quite nicely? Are you able to lift your chest up and keep your butt low? Good. All right, come on up. So the first thing we have after the goblet squat, we're going to do mini squats with the TheraBand. All right, single leg mini squats. So this is great for toe mobility and stability. When you're talking about mobility of any sort, you are talking about also stability inside the body, okay? Because you have to be stable in order to complete a mobile function. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to place one edge of the TheraBand right under the big toe. All right? Right under that big toe. And then we're going to put the rest of the toes down. All right? Once we get there, we're going to put a little resistance in the band. All right? The next thing that we have are single leg mini squats. So either you can go kickstand to start out with, but this is the move right here. All right? The goal here is to keep the big toe on the floor. Okay? You'll know if it's not on the floor if the rubber band or the TheraBand comes back at your face. Okay? If this feels like it's a good challenge, you can stay there, or if you're feeling like you want something a little bit more challenging, you can come that single leg, big toe stays down on the floor. Boop. And I'll back it up just a little bit. You guys keep going. Each exercise is going to allow for 2 to 4 minutes for explanation and execution for today. All right, so don't feel like you have to count reps or anything like that. We are on time for today. All right, good. By this time, you should start to feel them feet wake up, bottom of the feet, maybe those toes, maybe into the thigh or a little bit around the knee. All of this is A-okay. It's our body talking to the rest of the chain. Feet are getting warm for what we need to do for today. Get you one more, and we're going to move to the opposite side. Nice. While you're moving to the opposite side, check out that first foot that you just did. What do you feel? The bottom of your foot? Top of your foot? Sides of your feet? And once you guys get a good resistance, we can go ahead and go. All right? The goal here is to keep the band underneath the right toe. All right? Good. Good. And the last thing here, instead of sitting back into this, you want to let that knee shift over the front toe. All right? Really get a good stretch in the ankle joint while that toe is staying down on the floor. Good. Good. We got about another 30 seconds here. Good. Go ahead and start pushing your knee forward over top. There you go. Good. Almost like you're finding yourself leaning over your body or leaning over the knee. Good. Good. Finish out 2 more here. Good. Let's go ahead. We'll stretch that out. That was a good one. Let's go ahead and get the tops of our feet stretched. You should feel this all the way into your shins, tib anterior stretch, tibialis anterior stretch. Good for foot health. We do a lot of this all day. We don't do much of this, so it's nice to get a good stretch on the opposite side. Good. Now what you want to try not to do is let that ankle roll out, okay? Make sure that it stays up nice and strong, nice and straight. We'll switch back opposite side. One more. Good. Good deal. And switch sides. Good. We're back with the band underneath the big toe again, okay? So the band's going to be underneath the big toe. My right hand is going to have the band. The band is on the right foot. All right. And what we're looking to do here is a single leg stork stance or a high knee hold. All right. The hold is for 3 seconds. Come back down and go again. All right. Here you should really feel that foot engaging. If you feel like the whole foot is playing a part, you can always scoot that band over to just where the big toe is holding, nothing else. Again, really focusing on connecting into the ground with that big toe. You should always also feel the heel of the foot pushing into the ground a little bit more now that you have that big toe anchored. Oh yes, I forgot my little flexibility start. Good, let's get 15 seconds left on this side. Good. Let's switch to the opposite side. Just that big toe. Everything else doing its thing. Left side. High knee hold, 3 seconds each time. Good. Good. If you're finding a challenge with balance, you can always focus somewhere about 10 to 12 feet away from you on the floor or something that's not moving so that you can maintain that balance. Each high knee hold should try to get a little bit higher each time without negating or compromising form. You shouldn't feel like you're slouching or anything like that when you're coming up. Again, all our moves today, super intentional. Good. Good. Perfect. We can put these to the side. We'll get these on the last little bit. You feeling some shin muscles light up right there? Yeah, all right. So now we're gonna go into mini squats, but these are gonna be kind of knees over toes mini squats, okay? So it's gonna look like this. We're gonna come into the balls of our feet and squat down forward, all right? It's a mini squat. You don't have to come all the way down if you don't want to. If you're feeling good and wanna drop and come all the way up and down, you totally can, but we're on the balls of our feet, mini squatting. Might help to throw those hands out in front. Good. It's not a fast movement. What we don't want to see is our ankles rolling out as our knees are in, our ankles rolling in, anything like that. We want very strong, stable ankles. Good. Good. If you are someone that's feeling a lot of shakes right now, I challenge you to slow down a little bit more. And also with your coming up, slow it down. Slow on the down, slow on the up. Good job. If you need a break, you can take it. We're here for about another 35 seconds. Good. Good. Knees are pushing over toes as we sit down into the chair. Again, if you're finding this is a good challenge and want to take it lower, you totally can take it lower. Whew. Saying, hey, knee. Yes. Wake them all up. All right. Wake them all up. Good. Popping and cracking is not a bad thing unless it's bringing about some pain. Popping and clicking just means that we're getting some fluid moving and lubrication going, all right? Finish out, last 2 there. Give me 2 more. We're gonna get into some hip movements, all right? These hip movements, if you'd like, you can find a place to hold on to, or if you want to follow through without any balance help or aid, this is what we look like. We're going up and over a hurdle. Maybe some of you guys seen that at a track practice, or if you haven't, I think most people have stepped over a baby gate before. Okay, so that's what we're doing today. We're gonna step over that baby gate. Okay, You don't have to put your hand there, but I just wanted to give you guys that look. The leg has to come back, and then the rotation in the hip can happen. The last thing is to not forget the shin muscle. It can't stay down. The shin can't stay down. It's got to turn up so we can get over that gate. All right? Again, everything today is very intentional, very slow. You don't want to just speed through these movements. Touching back on the balance for right now. Find you a soft spot or a stable spot, a spot that's not moving on the floor, maybe the wall. Focus in on that. All right? Good. We'll get one more forward and then we'll switch to the opposite direction, going backward. Good. We're gonna go the opposite direction, up, back, and around. There you go. Good. And on these, if you start to feel as you're pushing out that you're wanting to dip your hip, come back and just work with the range of motion that your body is giving you right there in that moment. All right? Good. Good, 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 good. Remember, it's up, the shin has to turn out, and then it's around. Good. That stable foot should be on fire right now. That arch, maybe the side of the hip. All of these are stability muscles that we're firing. These are really great muscles to have engaged before you move into any type of heavy lifting or body weight training, as it reduces injuries. Perfect. Let's switch to the opposite side. If you want, you can pedal that out. Tuck to those feet. Good. Opposite side. Back, out, and over. Good. Back, out, and over. Good. Yes. Good deal. Good moves, good moves. Remember, we're here for time. One more back, and then we'll rotate opposite direction. Up, out, and around. Good. That opposite side hip should be lighting up, down that opposite side or that stable leg, all the way into that stable leg foot. All of that is good. Feedback information. Let's get one more. All the way up, out, and around. Good. Let's go ahead and shake that out. All right. The next one we're going to get into is an inchworm. So you want to come to the edge of your mat here. All right. And the goal here is really a spinal flexion into shoulder stability as we move on out. Okay. All joints are meant to be mobile at certain times. Okay. So this one here, you're going to come down. Try to keep the legs straight. If you need a soft knee bend, that's okay. But as soon as you're able to straighten out those legs, straighten them out, walk it out, and we're walking back up. All right. You can either stay down in this position as you walk out, or you can stand up. And also, you can add a push-up at the bottom if you want to add a push-up. And the goal here with the hands, guys, is to walk our hands just as we would walk our feet, meaning that we would have the palm of our hand and then roll into our fingertips, okay? And then opposite way on back. Palm of the hand comes down. Nicely done, Steph. That looks good. Good. Checking in with your body. Are your hips shaking? They should not be. Is your core engaged? It should be. You shouldn't feel that those hips sinking down. They should be up high. Good. There we go. And you don't want to forget to breathe here. All right. Breath work is really important when you're talking about slower movements and fast tempo movements. Anytime you're doing the work, you should be breathing out. Anytime it feels like it's less work for you, you should be breathing in. Let's go ahead, 20 seconds left. Stay stable. Good deal. Oh, yeah, getting warm? Perfect. All right, finish out where you're at. And we're gonna get into our next exercise, which is our world's greatest exercise, okay? So a little bit different here than just holding the world's greatest pose. We're actually gonna get down and we're gonna do some reps inside of this pose, okay? So you'll find yourself down here, this foot coming up to where it can. If you can drop that back knee, drop the back knee down, okay? The goal here is to sink into this stretch. All right, so the first 10 seconds we're gonna sink into stretch, okay? The next 10 seconds, we're gonna be pushing ourselves down into the stretch, okay? And then the last 10 reps that we're gonna do, pop the foot up. Whatever hip is in forward is going to pull our body up, okay? We're not gonna push with that back leg. We're gonna pull up with the front hip, okay? You should really get a good activation here, okay? So let's go ahead and we'll start down in world's greatest. Foot is up, wherever up is. All right, back knee goes down, and we're just relaxing here, okay? Just coming all the way down. About 5 more seconds, and then we're gonna start to drive the hips to the floor in 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and drive the hips to the floor. You should feel that back leg hip start to stretch out. You feel the inner thigh of the front leg start to stretch out too. 3, 2, and 1. Toes will go back tucked, and we're gonna lift with that left hip. Lift with the hip that's forward. All right, the goal is to not push through the back leg, rather lift with the front leg. We get 5 more reps, and we're gonna do that one more time. Remember, it's the front leg lifting the hips. It's not the back leg pushing. Good. One more. And rest it. Very fitting very fitting song. I can't feel my legs no more. Ah! All right. Back in here, stretching, just relaxing for a moment. All right. 5 seconds. We're going to push down to the floor. 3, 2, and push those hips. Find yourself in a deeper range here. 5. Keep pushing. 3, 2, and here we go. From this position, the front leg does the lifting. Lift up. It should get a little bit tiring here. Come on. Good. Front leg is doing the work. Good stuff. Get 5 more reps. Good. Good. And good. Come on out of that. You can walk it back. We can have a seat here for a second. We're going to do the opposite side, okay? Just checking, making sure we're good here. Perfect. Switch to the opposite side. Foot goes up to where it can be flat on the floor. And you can always use help if you're doing this at home with chairs to help get you there, and then we can move forward from there. This one, go ahead and find you a deep stretch. I like to kick that back leg out the way, and I do like to untuck my toes here. while I'm hanging out. 3 seconds, we're gonna push. 2, 1, push. Hips down to the floor. Push, push, push. 5 seconds more of pushing, and we'll start lifting. 3, 2, tuck the toes back. Front leg is lifting the hips. Good. Front leg, lift the hip. Remember, this isn't a fast-paced movement. It's a very intentional movement, taking time to put in the focus to get the front leg to do it the work. Good. Let's get 3 more reps. We're going to go back down into a pause. Good. Good. Meet me back down into a pause. Just hanging out. If you find that you have a little bit more range of motion and want to take it down to the elbows, you totally can. And absolutely feel like you don't have to as well. If you want to stay up, that's fine too. You're here for you. 3 seconds, we're pushing. 2, 1, push to the floor. Pay attention. Is this hip feel tighter or looser than the opposite one? Feeling stuck anywhere? 5 seconds more of push. We're going to get into those reps again. 2, 1, and let's lift. Front leg does the work. Front leg does the work. Good. A little fatigue coming on. Should be. Right in that hip. Good. Remember that front leg. Doing the work. Talk to it. 5 more reps. Good. Good. I'm going to take a break after this one. Finish 1 more rep. Good deal. Come out of that. Let's go ahead and get into our kneeling seat here. We can let the tops of the feet touch the ground. All right. Little time right here to breathe for a moment. Go away from those hips for a moment. How'd that feel? Good? Something different? All right. So the next thing we're going to get into is a spinal mobilization, okay? I think it's very, very important for people to be able to know how to mobilize their spine. So that's what we're going to talk about next, all right? We're going to start in spine segments, okay? We're going to go from cervical to thoracic. Today, mostly is already lumbar mobilization, some form or shape. So we'll just focus right now on cervical and thoracic mobilization. So the first thing I'm looking for is your chin to come down to your chest, okay? So we're going to dip the chin to chest without moving anything else. The middle of the back should not be dipping. All right, we get down there and I want you to hold 10 seconds. And now what I want you to do for another 10 seconds is just gently push the chin closer to the chest or into the chest if you're already there. Push 10 seconds. Finish out. 5, 4, 3, 2, and come on back up slowly. Head goes back to the ceiling, looking up. As you look up, try to bring your eyes to the top of your head as well. So meaning that you want to look back behind you, all right? Eyes go back behind you as chin comes up. Come back to center. Refocus your eyes. And we're going to go back down, chin to chest. And let's go ahead and push chin into chest. 5, 4, 3, 2, and head goes back. Eyes come with it. And good. We're going to move into cervical rotation now. Okay, so we're going to look left, look right. The reason why we use our eyes as well, you probably can feel a little bit of a strain in your eyes right now. our eyes actually innervate muscles inside of our head. So the nerves that move our eyes are actually innervated with muscles, okay? And a lot of times we can reset a lot of our body and our nervous system by just being able to maneuver our eyes certain directions, okay? So the next one, we got a cervical rotation, and what I'm looking for is for you to go as far left over your left shoulder as possible, and then take your eyes a little bit further. We're gonna hold here 10 seconds. Perfect, come back to center. And we're gonna go right side. Again, those eyes are gazing back over that right shoulder. And come on back. Go one more time. If you feel like you need a break with your eyes, if you feel like this is too much of a workout with your eyes, you can always leave that portion out. Come on back to center. Refocus. And let's go opposite direction. Gazing back if you have it. If you don't, that's fine too. Good. Come on back to center. Let's give our legs a little bit of a shake before we go into the thoracic mobility. All right. So on our thoracic mobility, cat-cow is a really great one to do, especially when you're able to anchor in with your hands and your knees. I think it's a really great one. So what we're going to do, instead of just moving through cat and cow, we're actually going to mobilize one segment at a time, cat, and then mobilize one segment at a time, cow. Okay? Everything should be slow and flowed, and the goal here, like I said, is to move one little piece of vertebrae at a time in that middle back. I like to rotate my hips under so I can get a good stretch in that spinal extension. Good. Coming on back. Good. Good. Let's get one more row. We're going to go into thoracic rotation next. Once you finish that, come back to center. We're going back in a kneeling seat. Good deal. All right. Thoracic rotation, similar to cervical rotation, but we're moving at our mid portion of our spine, okay? So I like to hold on my opposite hand to the front of my thigh and then take myself back as far as I can. This one's going to be a little bit different, as we're going to give ourselves a good push in this rotation, and then we're going to let go of the push, but hold the position that we're in, okay? So what that's going to look like is we have a good push here, and then when I say hold, you're going to let that arm go, but you're not going to move back from that stretch that you just got, okay? You should feel your muscles firing. 3, 2, and relax. We're still going to hold this stretch. We're going to do last hold, ready, and let go. Get a good tense. 4, 3, 2, and return back to start. We're going to do the opposite side now. 2 rounds. Finding a good passive stretch first. 5 seconds. We'll go into an active hold for 10 seconds. And let that hand go. Active hold. Still get that good mobility. Wake up those muscles. Get another passive stretch, 10 seconds. Passive stretch, hand goes back down on that thigh. And we're going to go one more active stretch. Go ahead, hold that arm up. Actively Holding, stretching the mid-spine. 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Oh, yeah. We can come on out. Hopefully those legs aren't aren't gone forever. All right, we're gonna get into a little bit more hip mobility here, into some lower leg mobility, and that will finish us out for today. Some of my favorite hip exercises here, hip mobility 90-90 heel clicks. I see most of you guys have something to bring out for, losing my words, for assistance in making sure that you're getting the full range, okay? I'm gonna put my shoe here and I'm gonna take you through what 90-90 heel clicks look like. So we're in a 90-90 position. So our knee is bent at 90 degrees. Our ankle is at 90 degrees on both legs, all right? And I like to frame my front leg with my hands, okay? So right hand will be on the inside of the left thigh, left hand will be on the outside. And I put my shoe right here in front of that back knee because I need to come up and over, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lean forward. I'm gonna lift that back leg up off the ground, and then I'm gonna come up over to click the heel in the front, all right? Boom. We're gonna come back down, knee touches. By this time, my foot stays up the whole time, okay? And we're gonna get going here. Let me see. Let me see. There you go. Good. And you might find for some of you guys that a shoe might not be high enough. You might want to use your water bottle. Yeah, there you go. Good. And remember, when you get back to the back, that back foot doesn't want to touch the ground, okay? You don't want it to let it touch the ground. We want to see if we can keep it up the whole time. Lean forward a little bit more if you're finding difficulty in keeping that foot up. If you have to come all the way to here, that's okay. There you go. There you go. Is your back foot being able to stay up? No. There you go. So leaning forward will allow you for a little bit more strength coming from the posterior chain and allow you to get that full hip internal rotation, meaning that you're going to keep that foot off the ground. Good. Yeah, about 20 seconds left on this side. Good. Super intentional here. Remember, the only thing you want moving is the hip. All right, focusing on a big rainbow inside the hip. Finish out one more rep, all the way back, all the way over. And then we'll switch to the opposite side. Boop. Good deal. Same setup. Back leg is behind, a little bit behind the hip. 90-90 in the knees and in the ankles, 90 degrees. Back foot comes up, and then we're moving. Okay. Pay attention to see what side is easier or more difficult, if there is one. Good. Oh, yeah. Looks good, guys. Nice, nice. Good. And you're controlling it from the lift off to the touchdown. Gravity should not be doing any work here. It should be all of you. You might feel flank starting to work, hips, of course, core. We got about 20 seconds left here. Good. Nicely done, nicely done. Finish out all the way to the front and then to the back. And we will rest that. Oh, yeah. All right, so that was a lot of internal, external rotation work. All right, so we're going to get into Exactly. We're actually about to do that. All right. We're going to get into moving our spine left to right here after that. All right. So feet come out shoulder width apart. All right. And as you lean to one side, everything leans, feet too. All right. The goal here is not to let your body move with your hips. The goal is to keep the hips still, keep the body still as the legs move left to right. And wherever you're finding your in range, that's fine. If you want, you can push through just a little bit and then come on back to start. Check in with your body again. What feels tight? Where does it feel tight? Good. Good. Finish out. We got about 20 seconds left here. We'll lay it down. We got a few exercises left that'll bring us out. Ten more seconds. Good. Last rep. Nice little windshield left, windshield right. And then we can find ourselves laying down, all right? On our belly. We're going to get into a little bit of shoulder mobility before we get into one last shoulder stability. And then we're going to check in with that goblet squat that we did in the beginning of our session today. All right. So this one, we're going to do arm circles with the floor being our hover point. Okay. So floor will be our hover point. What I'm looking for is your elbows to come down, arms to come out, arms to come over, arms to pull back down. All right. So the palms are facing down towards the floor the whole time, and we're going one circle the whole time. Pull down, slide out, palms stay down. Good. Perfect. Nice. And on your circle, Alyssa, yeah, pull all the way down and then fly out and then come back around. Good. Good. Let's get two more this way. We're going to switch and go the opposite direction. Last one. Once you get back with the hands by the ears, let's rotate opposite direction. So then we'll push up, come out, come under, and back up. Good. Palms are still facing down. Good shoulder mobility here. Hands should be about 2-3 inches off the floor. Good. Nice little shoulder tone, shoulder burn. Let those muscles turn on. Let's get 3 more. Good. Finish out. 2 left. Good. And we'll finish out. Last one. Perfect. All right. So the last exercise that we have is one of my favorites. It's a loaded beast movement. All right. So it's basically an elevated child's pose. Okay. And so the goal here is to elevate or keep the legs off of the floor while we're doing this. Sometimes I find a little difficulty doing this movement on some types of mats. Like this mat for me is pretty thick, so it might move. Your mat looks good, so you might be good with just staying on. That looks like a legit yoga mat. All right, so if we don't have that, that stability or that mat from moving, you can come off to the side and do this movement, okay? So the next one we're gonna do, we're in a plank position, and instead of coming down to child's pose where the knees come down and here, the goal is to keep the knees up and push back. Come back to start. Good. Alyssa, if you need to find yourself down, that's fine too. Good. That looks good. And the last thing that we want to talk about is making sure that the hips don't round up and then you come down. It's basically a plank, shoot straight back into that loaded beast, and then come right back out into that plank. Shoot. Good. Good. You got about 20 seconds left here. Moving through. Let the burn happen. Let those quads turn on. Let those shoulders do their job. Good. We're finished in 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. Oh, yeah. Hello, quads. Perfect. All right, so that brings us to the end of our exercises that we actually had for execution today. I do want to go back to the goblet squat, though. And I want to see if anything feels different to you guys. If you're able to sit lower, get into that squat a little bit faster because stuff isn't sticking as much. But again, we're going to start out shoulder width apart, toes turn out, and we're just looking at getting down into that goblet squat. Heels should be on the floor. Big toes should be able to push down into the floor, just like they have been throughout the workout today. Good. We're going to hang out here. We're going to finish up 1 minute down in this pose, okay? Good. Whole time here, we're trying to bring that heart up to the sky. Big toes stay down. If you'd like, you can push out in the knees. Get those hips talking to you a bit more. Stand tall, sit tall, sit tall. There you go. Meaning that heart is coming to the sky. We're already 30 seconds done. Push it out. If you start to feel those ankles rolling in, push the outside of the feet back down. Hold it. We got 20 seconds left here. That takes us out. Good. 10 seconds. Right on. 5, 4, 3, 2, and done. Come on up. Ooh, that takes us out. That was nice. All right. Thank you all so much for coming to this mobility circuit. Hopefully you guys feel a little bit more mobile. You might start to feel things that are talking to you a little bit more than what they have been before. I challenge you to do some sort of mobility 2 to 3 times per week. It doesn't have to be 45 minutes in length. It could be 10, 15 minutes, but find, 2 or 3 exercises maybe that we've done today that you enjoyed or found challenging, and add them into your all's repertoire or your little toolbox for your workout. And feel free to keep on to those TheraBands. And if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you all so much for showing up. And thank you guys at home for showing up as well. I'll see you soon.